Alright kids, take out your notebooks. Yesterday we learned about the Cuban Missile Crisis, and today we're going to learn about what happened after that. Ready? Alright, let's go. Yesterday we learned that Cuba was surrounded by America with a blockade because America was afraid that communism was going to spread. Okay? Got that? Got that? Good. Then our saviors, the Soviet Union, sent over troops to Cuba because Cuba needed the help. So, you have America right here, Cuba down here, and Soviet troops coming from the east to help Cuba. So, because the Americans were afraid of the Soviet Union, they decided to fire first because they had no idea what we were going to do. When we were just going to help Cuba. So, hey! Communism sucks!
What?
Communism...
Ever!
America firing first at the Soviet Union sparked the start of World War III. Because the Soviet Union was more prepared than the Americans, the Soviet Union won the battle at the blockade. The Americans had to flee because they were too damaged. The Soviet Union went back to Europe. This is the official start of World War III. The war started in Europe and ended in the US. It was a war between the Warsaw Pact and NATO. Within a matter of months, the Soviet Union took over Europe. That means all the European countries that were under NATO were now a part of the Warsaw Pact because they were all communist. That also means that the Soviet Union took over Turkey. If you remember from last time, that Turkey was the designated choice where Americans had their nukes. Because we took over Turkey, that means that the Soviet Union was no longer threatened by America and could now easily attack America without any repercussions or danger of being attacked by nukes. Now, with the threat of democracy now out of Europe, the Soviet Union sent their troops to Cuba and were able to start attacking the US of A because they wanted to spread communism. Now, with the Soviet Union and Cuban troops combined, they started to take over I believe it was the South America, South Korea, and all the other places surrounding Europe which had democracy in it. With democracy now out of all of those countries and communism spreading over, America was their last target. Little known fact, the Soviet Union started placing their spies and their pro-communist leaders into America to start pro-communist revolts because we needed that fire in America where we changed their ideology to get them into communism. The Soviet Union successfully took over America, and with America now out of the picture, the Soviet Union finally spread communism all over the world.
Teacher, what happened to the Americans that weren't following communism?
What happened to the Americans? Oh, they were removed. We are trying to create an ideological society, and having those rebels disrupt those plans is just not good for us, so they were removed. Now that, any more questions? No? Alright. Now that democracy was out of the picture, communism finally ruled over America, and the entire world in fact. Our leader, Mikhail Gorbachev, decided everything for us, because of course we still need someone in power, because we can't have everyone be equal. I think that's it. Communism is all over the world, and this is the society we live in. Sorry, I said that weird. The society we live in.
Yo, teach!
Yes?
What happened to all the painters? The painters. They painted stuff.
The painters. Oh, we still keep some of our art because we have to obviously celebrate it, but the ones that expressed rebellious or greedy ideas that were against communism were gotten rid of because we can't have a perfect society with those kind of people in our world.
Excuse me, was the environment in any way affected?
Oh, of course things happen in the environment. It was a long war. It was about like 15 years. And during that time, it was constantly fighting in the US and the Soviet Union. So what we had to do was reconstruct. The Soviet Union helped, I believe it was New York, what used to be New York, Florida, and California. That had to be rebuilt mostly because that's where a lot of the battles were fought. With those places, we had to reconstruct, and we got rid of anything that was rebellious against communism, and we put up our own statues, such as replacing the Statue of Liberty with our great leader Gorbachev. Ring! Oh, well, that's the end of class, and I'll see you all tomorrow.